Another thing too, we were touching on the whole, feeling your best when you're coming to your appointment. And Monica touched on how we, touch base with the brides before they come for their appointment. Mm-hmm. And that's the opportunity the bride has, to kind of say, I'm feeling nervous about this, or I have questions about sleeves or arm coverage. Maybe that's a big one people ask about, or even sizing. So one thing I will say is that our brides tend to be more on the nervous side, I think, than probably any other brides. So because they don't do a lot of shopping in store for their regular clothes.
Right.
So one thing we do like to say is that during your appointment, we are not talking about sizes. No. Our store is full of a range of sizes that go all the way, from lower end, upper end, all the things in between. So some of the styles, some of the dresses are going to fit you well. Yeah. Some are going to be big and have to be clamped. Some are going to be open in the back with a panel. Yeah. So it's just going to be a range. And when you pick your gown, then we just get into sizing at that point. But again, it's not like a whole focus of your shopping experience here.
I feel like we always said, I feel like sizes should be names. Mm-hmm. Like, would you like to try on gorgeous? Or, do you know what I mean? Or flirty.
Color coordinated.
Right? Can they be something
other than
cooler
numbers?
Than that? Yeah. Be you can try on gorgeous? Which one? That to me just sounds so much more fun. But I love to hear that when clients are visiting the boutique, that again, there is that warmth, and I say it wholeheartedly, but be a little vulnerable, because that's where you're really going to be able to connect with your stylist, connect with your tailor, so that because we can't be mind readers. We always say, we try based off of just eyes, but body language. But the reality is, we want to know how you're feeling.
Right.
In our line of business as tailors, sometimes people can get their backs up because it's about the work that the tailor has done. Is, oh my gosh, is this an insult to the tailor? For our team, we would prefer you to say, I don't feel my best because of this, or I don't feel as supported because of this, so that we can help you
100%.
Feel the best of your ability walking out our doors, right? Because our name's on the sign.
Right. Yes.
Right?
Yes. Absolutely.
My favorite thing to tell brides is be annoying.
They're like, we do.
I'm really sorry. And I'm like, do it. Just tell me. Be as annoying as you need to be, because I would rather know every little thing in your head, so I can actually, come up
address
with
a solution. Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely
because
better.
here's the thing. You're going to pick your dress up from alterations, and what are you going to do?
Right.
You're going to go home and you're going to put it on. We know you do this. Okay? We know you do this. Because who wouldn't want to put their dress on more than one time? But then you're going to stand in front of the mirror, you're going to nitpick this, or what about that? And it's just better to get it all out there at your fitting, have it done, and then know that you're leaving, because we've checked all those boxes off, and we've had those conversations.
Yeah.
I know one of the biggest things is support. Do you ever have clients coming in and have specific support questions, specifically the bust area? We find that's a really big one with our clients.
Yeah, so majority of the designers we carry here are also customizable. So if the designer allows for us to request additional boning in the bust, or adding more support into the bust area, we will also have the designer do it. But in some cases, additional support may be needed, and that's where kind of that comes into alterations. Right. So our question is, if the designer has already added additional boning, is there opportunity to add more support? What if there's an alternative to, maybe not boning, but if there's an alternative that you could recommend?
Yeah, so fit is a big one. We were talking about this on our way here. Is if you've got a bust and you want to feel secure in whatever style you're wearing, our rule of thumb for alterations is that it's got to be snug in your rib cage. When the gown is snug in your rib cage, you still want to be able to enjoy the food that you've spent money on. But the reality is, if it's tight in your rib cage, just right below that bust line, that's actually going to help hold the weight of the dress up and give you more support up here. Now, a common mistake with alterations is that some tailors can take the dress in just too much at the top, and that's when you're getting the dig in. It does not matter if you're a size 0 or a size 30. It doesn't matter.
Right.
If it's taken in that little hair too much, that's where you're going to feel that in your photos that's going to show. So rule of thumb, rib cage is where you want it to be snug. For support, we've got cups that we can look at putting in. We have cups that go up to H, G, that we can see if that helps to provide a little bit of support. Or if you just want the girls kind of perking up a little bit, we also have, we call them our cups and cookies. They're little cookie inserts, and they just get sewn directly into the dress, and they just kind of help hold your bust where it needs to go without, again, giving too much cleavage. You don't want to feel overspilled.
Yeah.
It'll just help kind of hold everything in place. So that's another option. Bustiers, because we were also talking about that today. Bustiers, it's like a love-hate relationship with bustiers.
There's definitely a
I feel like.
limitation, especially with the style of dress, like what will show, what won't show.
Correct.
Even with shapewear in general, like
Right.
if you're doing like Spanx with the shorts, and you know, maybe you're seeing a line, or if you've got an open back dress. One thing that we like have done in the past a few times, where if a padded cup or the little cookie pad, they're not giving you enough of what you need. We'll have our brides, like, we'll say, you've probably have that old strapless bra at home. That's your exact cup size.
This
It
is a good
has
tip.
the
This is a good little
underwire.
tip.
It's
Yeah.
got the underwire in there, because underwire does a lot.
Yes.
But underwire is difficult to add to sew right into certain styles of dresses if it won't work with that dress. So we'll tell our brides, bring that bra. If you don't care about us chopping it up, we'll actually cut the straps off the bra. We'll take the cups of the bra that have the underwire in them, and we'll sew those into their dress, because it just
Smart.
gives them that like a little bit of extra support, but they can still have that open back style. It
Right.
won't compromise the look of the dress or showing throughout their illusion or areas they don't want it showing. So
And sometimes shapewear is not always the answer. Like, we will have brides say, oh, do I need to? And I'm like, first of all, you have to be comfortable,
Yes.
right? I mean, how often do we wear
100%.
these dresses?
Yeah.
It's not like we're driving down the street in a car wearing one of these. But you want to be comfortable, right? You want to live.
Yes.
You want to live your day. So we will tell a lot of our brides when they're coming in for fittings, bring what you think you want to wear, and then let's see realistically, does it make a difference? Sometimes somebody will put Spanx on and we're like, how comfortable are those? And like, these suck. I'm like, just remove them. At this point,
Right.
we
What are we
actually
doing?
we find that the Spanx, the only reason we tell a lot of brides to put them on is so you don't get the chafing of your legs.
Yes. Yes.
That's pretty much one of the bonuses of it. And then it just depends on the style of dress and how comfortable you are, right?
Yeah, right.
But if you don't need it, don't wear it.
So hot tip.
Yes.
If someone doesn't want compression, but they want that thigh saving thing.
Yeah.
There's actually a brand called Thigh Society. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
We have not.
They're really great. Yeah, there's a link in our
We gotta
bio
look
on Instagram for their thigh saver shorts, and they're super lightweight, thin fabric, which is great. They're cooling. Yeah, super thin.
Do they have a surged?
So they
like
do have
finishing on the seam?
they do have a finishing on the seam. So,
Okay.
but it's really thin, super thin
Okay,
fabric. Like it's
excellent.
not like a compression short that's a little bit thicker there, and so they're great. I wear them all summer, basically.
Love that.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, so a lot of our brides who choose an A-line, for example,
Yes.
they
Yeah.
might just need that for that cooling effect, and not so much about the compression and like the suck in.
One thing we love for the A-line styles, when you want that cooling air underneath the gown, are the hoops. Yeah.
So let's be like clear of what these are, because I feel like they're like a hoop.
Yeah.
What is that?
The hoop.
There's a hoop that goes under your dress, and it kind of is.
Kind of is, yeah.
But there are two different things. There's a crinoline,
Yes.
and then there's a hoop. The crinoline, yes, you can absolutely do a crinoline under your wedding
volume. It's
gown.
more for volume.
For volume, but it does add a lot of extra layers and weight to your dress. So we are very pro hoops.
Okay.
And you kind of think of like the 1800s, you sit down, this thing's gonna come flying up at you, all the lady bits are showing. It's totally not like that. It's not like
Chose
that.
the perfect time to take a sip.
Yeah, you should
Always.
get back on the carpet. It is not like that, ladies. The hoop It's like ventilation. It's like your little air conditioning system without having fans strapped to your legs.
It gives you that bubble of space around your legs from
does.
all the fabric falling on
They're
you.
amazing.
Feeling like you got to kick those layers out between your legs.
Yeah.
It's just like that little space around your legs, and it even sometimes allows like air to come up under the dress too, which is a lot
Makes
more
it easier
cooling on
to
those hot
dance.
days. 100%.
Like
and
Bridal
go
Pro.
pee.
Yeah.
We love the hooper going pee. Just pull it right up.
Pull it up.
Stuff the
Stuff
dress
everything inside. Yeah.
Do your business.
Perfect.
They're amazing. So they're
Interesting.
definitely good. It's definitely a good add-on for any brides that are still wanting that, princess style dress or more of the volume, but then they just don't want to be hot all day.
Right.
The hoops are also adjustable. So you don't have to have this crazy volume. You can actually take it in and have less volume at the bottom, but you're still getting that breathability.
Right. So under an A-line dress, for
Correct.
example, does it have to
Yeah.
be
So if
ball
you're like,
down?
I really don't want it really poofy.
Okay.
I just want a little something something, or I just want a little air conditioning. Then you would make the hoop smaller.
That's great.
Take your shoes off. You can make it bigger.
I think that's the biggest misconception too with the hoop, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You can make it bigger. Raise the hem a
You
little
just blew
bit.
my mind a little bit right
That-
there.
that's
I never
our
thought
next
about
topic.
that.
Yeah, I feel like in the next coming years, hoops are going to be making more of an appearance, especially in the alterations side
Right.
for things. But they're also really nice to have in the boutique, just because it does make that little extra change. You're like, oh my gosh, this is my dress, right?
So,
Love that.
Yeah.
So logistically, is this something that you have in your shop
We
for
do.
people for purchase, or is it
Rent
something?
them.
Oh, you
Yeah,
rent
we
them.
rent
Because again, how often, like,
Yeah.
What are you going to do with it when
What
the
are you
wedding's
gonna
done?
do?
Yeah,
Right.
fair.
Right?
fair.
So we do rent them. They're easy to pick up, put it on. If you want to remove it throughout the night, you
Okay.
can. You can change up. Some brides will even not wear it going down the aisle and then put it on for the reception, just so again, they just have a little more, they can party, they can dance, and
Right.
they have a little more air.
Can you just explain
Yeah.
the no shoes thing so people understand what you mean by that?
The
Like,
no shoes. Okay, so
what happens?
Yeah, it happens.
Oh, that helps.
So, depending on the style of dress you have, you don't really have to care too much about the shoes. They're more of a photo opportunity, I find, in the morning. But be comfortable, ladies. Like, I would really try and find something that's going to be comfortable that you can wear throughout the day. But generally speaking, after the ceremony and when you're going into the reception, a lot of brides are removing them. They're going to sneakers. They're going to flip-flops. They are wearing nothing. It really just depends on the client, but I definitely recommend having either like 2 different styles, comfortable one, and then one for your photos. But comfort is really the big thing with the shoes for us.
So if heel height changes, then when
Correct.
you either go to a flip flop, so how do you deal with that? Like you're not
Yeah.
tripping on your dress during the reception.
Yeah.
Okay.
The hoop is
Okay.
great for that because, like Tanis said, if you pop the hoop out wider, it actually raises your dress up off the ground a little bit because the dress is going out. So that helps if you're going to a flat shoe or a lower heel because you're getting that height. When it comes to alterations specifically, we get brides ask that a lot. They're like, "What do I do when I change my shoes later? When I take them off?" For hemming, we always go based off of shoes they're going to wear for their photos. Right?
Right.
That's the most important thing. Usually for photo and video, they want the look to be perfect. So we'll hem you to the shoes that you're wearing in your photos, the shoes you're wearing down the aisle so you're not tripping.
Right.
And then if you kick off your heels at some point, whichever one does. You kind of just have to wear it to the ground. At that point, if you're dragging a little,
And at this
so
point,
be it. You want to
this
just
year's
enjoy it.
done. You're going
That's
to be
true.
lifting it up. Like,
Yeah.
it's party time. And we do, like, that's a very big question we get. And we're just
Yeah.
like, have fun with the dress. At this point, the main stuff are done. But you do have the hoop as a tool if you need it
Right.
later in the evening. Like, you got it to change the look and feel of your dress, right?
Such a great alternative.
Do they make hoops for mermaid dresses?
They
Like,
do.
is that a thing?
totally
Okay.
do. Yeah.
So how the hoops go, because it's a little education here on the hoops, is there's different rings. So our most popular one is a 1 ring because the ring is at the very bottom of the dress and you can just, adjust as needed. If you want more volume going up the dress, you can do a 2 ring, a 3 ring, a 4 ring, and they get larger. But you can adjust them to how much fullness you want.
Okay.
Which is nice, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow.
Well, thanks for that.
People are usually quite shocked when they hear how long things actually take.
We're not gonna lie. It's been a little crazy. Like we've gotten calls saying I'm getting married tomorrow.
Your stylist is there to guide you and like take care of you and
Be your cheerleader.
be your cheerleader. Yes. I will say this disclaimer: we can work with any timeline.
There's a couple designers we cannot do rushes with.
I understand that, but we can get them addressed.
Yes, absolutely.
You are not going.
Maybe not
down
the dress.
aisle.
Maybe not, but we will guide you and make sure that you don't fall in love with a dress that you can't have.
Right.